Early in the morning at the Villa Fairlane Apartments in San Jose, most of the kids were plugged into school, with some of the parents logging on to work in the next room. Doing daily life from your kitchen table is already bad enough, and now you got bullets riddling your apartment and busting through your windows. San Jose police officers were on a hunt. The undercover squad were trying to get 27-year-old David Tovar for months, saying he was a suspect in a lengthy and violent crime spree across the South Bay. Try the cops did, but whenever they managed to get within reach of Tovar, he outran them, adding to the frustration of not just SJPD, but the Gilroy and Morgan Hill police departments who were also trying to catch up with him. Then, on January 21st, the officers working Tovar's case received a tip. He's at the Villa Fairlane Apartments. The cops armed themselves to the teeth, bringing along department-issued rifles. They were determined to get him this time. And a canine officer also came onto the scene. Walking into the apartment complex, officers said they found Tovar. But when they identified themselves as SJPD, Tovar again tried to outrun them. He was on the second floor of the apartments when the officers tried to box him in. But when he ran away from the two closest officers on the ground, Tovar was shot dead right there, and the canine unit was let loose on his lifeless body. Police said this was to ensure he wouldn't try getting away or harm them if he were still alive. It was San Jose's first police killing of the year. After all was said and done, police say they shot Tovar because officers saw him reaching into his waistband and gripping something they thought was the butt of a gun. But Tovar had no gun, just a cell phone and a screwdriver. Then Acting Chief of Police Dave Tyndall said the 27-year-old presented a threat as he ran toward officers. Though Tyndall failed to mention these officers were on the ground while Tovar was on the second floor. The body-worn camera footage wasn't out at the time, but when SJPD released it a few weeks later, they added a freeze frame to highlight that Tovar was holding a screwdriver. Of course, the implication is that the screwdriver adds justification to his killing.
Tovar then ran along the walkway towards one officer who could see Tovar pulling what he believed to be the butt of a handgun from his jacket. Perceiving an immediate threat, 3 officers fired their department-issued rifles at Tovar.
Even so, as we mentioned earlier, Tovar was on the second story, so the most he could have done with the screwdriver at his vantage point was throw it at the officers. Ultimately, 3 officers were placed on routine administrative leave, and the shooting is being looked at by the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office and the San Jose Independent Police Auditor. The identities of the officers are being withheld because the department said they're still involved in an undercover detail. Tovar's family have since filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against the city of San Jose, accusing officers of excessive force and demanding a jury trial be brought in to assess whatever damages the family is owed. Civil rights attorney Dante Pointer is representing the Tovar family in this case, and said the pattern of excessive force and misconduct exhibited by SJPD is affirmed once again by the death of David Tovar.
This is the type of behavior and misconduct that it appears that the police department is ready to condone, ratify, and promote. But it is not the type of conduct that this family, this community, and my law firm is willing to accept.